Alhamdulillah, thumma alhamdulillah, our gratitudes to Allah for having able us to be here on this very blessed Sunday afternoon or evening in a good state of health and iman. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase our iman, increase our taqwa, accept all of our fasting despite all of its shortcoming, inshaAllah. And may it be a fasting for us, inshaAllah, in this dunya and also in the akhirah, inshaAllah. One of the things that we don't see is that the effects of ibadah in our lives. So like, why do you find this year, if some of you have found, I was talking to some of you, if the effects of fasting is more felt this year than it was before. And that is because you took care of the months before. So the ibadah of Rajab, the ibadah of Sha'ban, ibadah of Rajab, Sha'ban, this will make it easy for you to have your ibadah in Ramadan. And if you want a better life, then you have to take care of your Ramadan. Not trying to find cut corners. You get what I'm trying to say? From 8:20 to 8 to 4, 4 to 2, 2 to 0. Then you cannot reap Ramadan, you cannot see the effects of Ramadan throughout your life. It's very difficult, right? So what we must do, we must try to build up Ramadan, see how Ramadan has changed because of the ibadah prior, and then see how, when you take care of Ramadan, how your life is after Ramadan. And how long can your life maintain that goodness in the month of Ramadan. So these are some things that we need to see and observe and account for, inshallah, in this month, inshallah. Okay, coming back to today's topic is the benefits of dhikr, inshallah. The first benefit of dhikr, أنه يطرد الشياطين, يعني it will chase away shaitan from your hearts. That's the first thing. So that's also the goal of Ramadan, to purify the self. And to purify the self from what? From all of the characteristics of shaitan. Shaitan will only go, right, if you take away the characteristics. The dhikr will temporarily cast it aside, because it cannot stand the light and the heat of dhikr, the power of dhikr. But what would bring the shaitan back is the characteristics that is already ruinous for us. That's why it's called the ruinous traits, because those are the traits that will ruin us, and it becomes a pathway for shaitan to enter. So what are the ruinous traits? Go and listen to the ruinous traits lecture. We have done, I think, about 12, I think. Are there 12 ruinous traits, I think? About 12 or 13 of it, There's 17 in all. So there's enough for us to go through for this last 10 nights, inshallah, to go through again. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made a test to see who will chase shaitan and who will listen to shaitan. This is more important. So as much as the first benefit of dhikr is that it will take shaitan away, but at the same time we need to see Allah is also testing us. Are you going to be those listen to shaitan and those who mujahada in not listening to shaitan? Which one would it be? You get what I'm trying? So every day, every moment, every second is a test. That's why dhikr also must be every moment, every second, every time is dhikr, because if not, shaitan will come. It's not just doing dhikr once, then shaitan won't come. No, it's not like that. In fact, right now, as you can see, the influence of shaitan is becoming even more. And when it becomes even more, it also becomes more subtle. You don't see it. So that's why guidance is really important. Guidance is really important, such that when we do dhikr, we see the effects. And when we don't do dhikr, also we see the effects of not doing dhikr. So observation is very important. One need to observe whether you're doing zikr properly, and then what are the effects of zikr. And if you're not doing zikr, what are the effects of shaitan that it has on us. Okay? And this is the thing. The heart cannot contain anything or anyone except for Allah. But shaitan will try its best to fit it into the heart itself. It's trying to make your heart its office in that sense. Or like we say, shaitan, Allah says, when you do dhikr, no, the hadith says, when you do dhikr, your name is mentioned in the throne, right? So, qalbu mu'min arshullah. Some people say it's not hadith, some say it is. Allah knows best, but our teachers quote it. There is truth in the saying, qalbu mu'min arshul rahman, or qalbu mu'min arshullah. The heart of the mu'min is the arsh of Allah. But it reflects back to the other hadith, the heavens and the earth cannot contain me except for the heart of a believer. Not his zat, but his what? His mercy, his focus, his helping you, etc. Allah cannot be contained in anything. But for one to really realize that, to understand that, we need to let go of everything that is trying to cling into the heart. So this yaturud ash-shayatin, yakni tarada, dia macam and it will chase the shaitan away, and it will take shaitan away, etc. All of this can only happen if we are connected to Allah. And what is connected? Zikr. Sometimes we look at things too difficult. What does it mean to connect to Allah? And I know there are, of course, we read this in Sufi texts, but these are for higher level people. I need to efface myself, reach to the level of who we are, and all that kind of, semua tinggi-tinggi lah. Our level is to this, to get rid of the shaitan and to connect to Allah through zikr. Habis itu. There's no need to be pondering on the secrets of those who have that level, that maqamat. Our level is to ponder on our level. And shaitan always, when he controls the heart, he makes you think about things that you cannot achieve. You get what I'm trying to say? Do this organization, start that organization, do this, do that, when it could be a simple thing of just taking care of our families. You get what I'm trying to say? When you take care of your family, Allah will make it way that you are able to take care of your community. Your family first, save yourself. Wa ahlikum nara. Ahli here has many understanding. Ahli can be family. Ahli can also be people that you take in as family. The community, etc. Right? So when the light of Allah is the only thing that is there, or you allow, you choose. Now you choose. There are 4 companions to this, or 3 companions to shaitan. The companions are ego, nafsu, and love of the world. Then the 4th one is shaitan. You only have to focus on 4 enemies now. Very easy. And you only have to focus on one place now. The heart. Not even asking you to focus on the mind. But when you start to do work on the heart, you will notice that the mind is also being purified. Or I shouldn't think this way. Why? Because this is, the first one, ego. I shouldn't think this way. This is my love of the world. I shouldn't think this way. This is the nafsu. I shouldn't think this way. But actually you're focusing on where? The heart. But you're doing work where? The mind. The real goal shaitan wants is where? The heart. The mind is just a pathway for him to enter into the depth of the heart, because that's where the secret is. That is where the secret is. What secret is that? The nur, the light, is there in the heart. Everybody knows this. Right? That's why in Suluk and Habib it's also mentioned that. It's in the heart. When it is in the heart, and then shaitan is trying his best to penetrate it, he won't go direct there. He won't go direct there. Where will he go? The mind. Now that you try to control your thoughts, and then he notices you're taking more effort in controlling the thoughts, where will you go next? No, he will go your surrounding. That's what he did with Sayyidina Adam. Cannot get Adam, he went to Hawa. Cannot get Adam and Hawa, go through what? Habil wa Qabil. Cannot get through Habil and Qabil, go through, the mischief continues. Proxy. He destroys you by proxy. That's why one needs to have leadership First, to protect the self and to protect the family. Remember, I have that program, a Muslim family guide to family spiritual protection and healing as well. Why? Because he doesn't just enter. He's not as dumb as we think. He's actually very clever, very witty man, very witty being, not man. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends His lights to the heart of the one who remembers Allah. So there's two opinions in this. One is the lights, the tajalli of dhikr, that means it becomes in the form of warid, something that you inherit. Another one is a process of mukashafa, revealing the proximity that you have with Allah. Yani the veils in the heart are lifted. How is that done? That is done through your mushahada. That is done, and how is mushahada achieved in terms of the goodness and the sharpness of mushahada? By your mujahada. Tak ada orang dapat mushahada without mujahada. There's no mushahada without mujahada. I'm okay with my nafsu, I'm okay with my ego, I'm okay with shaitan, I'm okay with nafsu, and all. Then suddenly, my mushahada very good. It's a gift from Allah, yes, but then we think it's because of our own effort. You get what I'm trying to say? So this is a trick. Already with that, He's tricking us. We attribute the outcome of ibadah, the goodness of ibadah, to ourselves. See, I did this, I get that. Sidi Ahmad bin Atta'illah Iskandari, rahmatullah alayhi, the great awliya Allah Salihin, Sahib al-Hikam, he says the first thing we need to get rid of is your dependency on your worship. He didn't say don't worship. It's you being dependent on your worship. But if you don't worship, cannot. Because that's your true purpose of living. Worship. You will prevent shaitan from entering as it will burn him. What will burn him? The light of dhikr that comes, the light of Allah that comes through dhikr will burn shaitan. That's why when we do dhikr properly, La ilaha illallah, focus and all, these are the places, your surrounding, your front, your back, etc. You're putting the dhikr, it becomes a protection for you. You see? That's why for some people, after dhikr, they get very tired. Reason being, that's the ego, because the ego also took a beating. Ego took a beating. Ego will react how? It will react by saying, now don't do this, you feel tired, lethargic, etc. All of that is a reaction from the dhikr that has hit the ego. That's why it's called darab. Beating lah. So, if your parents don't beat you, you must beat yourself. Which one you want? Darab. Get what I'm trying to say, no? I mean, there is room for this in Islam as well. It's been taught, bukan tak ada. Nowadays, we throw all of this away. Of course, dah besar yang ini tak boleh pukul lah. Get what I'm trying to say, no? But terlalu kecil pun tak boleh. So there are ways for it. Same, because you're not beating the child. You're not beating the person. You're beating the nafsu. Nafsu, one of the nasiha that was given to me by the Sheikh, the Naqshbandi Sheikh Saifi, introduced him to Abdullah Allah, who was maybe 3 years ago, 2 years, 3 years ago, of course much smaller. Mera bacha, this is my son. I don't know if that's the right term, but that's what I used then. He says, yes, I know. He said that. If the nafsu gets high, you have to beat him. You have to discipline him. First day I meet him, he tell me this about my son. Kalau Singapore, hello? This year, violent. But it is the way, because you're not dealing with the child, it is the nafsu. Do you know your nafsu when you're growing up? Semua tak tahu. We were sitting with our nafsu. We were sitting with our ego, our nafsu, our upper, we were sitting with it, sleeping with it, eating with it, growing up with it. That's why nowadays people prefer to have helpers as their parents, not what? Parents as parents. Because helpers give whatever you want. Nafsu. Kalau parent? Now, if the child is ill, Mithal, this is the thing. Your child, my child, our inner child, not the new magical word, your inner child, is the modern day spirituality, new age spirituality, beautifying the ego. Your inner child. Hello, when you got inner child, as long as you don't purify yourself, there is no receptivity. What inner child? Inner child is a child. What do you expect the child to do? Make mistakes, do things which are wrong, etc. Requires what? Disciplining lah kan? Habis kalau tak discipline the inner child, it becomes what? Rotten child, exactly. I don't want to say it, you want to say it. If I say it, then I can spiritual abuse. Oh, the sheikh is a spiritual abuse sheikh. And some Arab people, they have this expression. Tunjuk lidah, I think it's a universal expression. But I have seen some of my Arab teachers, they like to do that. Yeah, it is. There's no words to describe except for what? The emoji that vomits the green thing. How that's the problem why we have men who are not men, women who are not women. There's a saying when we were growing up, it's in a song, nang botinang koi boti koi. Betul tak Cik Ghazali? Dulu ada lagu kan? Nang botinang, nak katakan orang bukan orang, hantu bukan hantu. Is a hantu in orang and orang in a hantu. Why? Because inner child. So you see the trick, you see how deep, this one sentence is very deep, This is just the first benefit, but it's exposing our illness. So mujahadah ni, is very important. One of the things that I want to do, if I can do, is a 1 month retreat on just zikr. 1 month retreat on zikr, cover all these basic things, wake up zikr, sleep zikr, apa zikr, then you see whether you're really ahli zikr or not. I also will have to see whether I really ahli zikr or not. Everybody, because sometimes you can do it then, but not necessarily you can do it now. Allah tests you. So, if you think, oh, last time I dah buat ni, sekarang no problem, dulu dah masuk suluk, no problem, now I can do it again. Ego, that means that suluk, no effect. Ego, you did it as a discipline, but you didn't use it as a way to refine yourself. Haida. So you broke, the benefits is throwing shaitan away, and you broke him and suppressed him. He will be broken and cannot raise his head because you're now in a situation where your heart is dedicated to Allah alone. So this is not done when you throw away your dunya juga, tak ada. You see, shaitan's trick is such that he will try to make you distance yourself from the pathways or from the asbab for you to receive rewards and to receive Allah's rida. So, you and me, we all know there are many things that Allah will put His rida in. And not all of the things we like to do. So some of the things that Allah will put His rida in is not just you remembering Him, zikr, one. Is you, how, example, because save yourself and your family, right? Which means He will place His rida for you where? In your family. In your family. That's where He will put your rida for you. Because you will be questioned, how do you raise your family? Correct? And then for people who are teaching, etc., the rida is in where? The muridins, the people who come for majlis, etc. This is not zikrullah, no? But if the person is in a state of mushahada, the family becomes a zikrullah. The way they take care of the family, it becomes zikrullah. the way they take care of their murids become a dhikrullah. It, in fact, carries more dhikr than them sitting down and doing the dhikr. You get what I'm trying to say? That's why our Murshid Khwaja Ehsanullah Shah said, I cannot go for Hajj. Simple. Not only him. Some people say, oh, he cannot. Okay, fine. Go and read Ibn Abbad of Ronda. You know Ibn Abbad of Ronda? He did a sharah on Hikam. Ibn Abbad of Ronda. He didn't go Hajj. Why? Because he said, the same reason, I have a lot of my tanggungjawab sini tak habis. How are people going to understand this? These are the people whose hearts have no shaitan. So that's one way shaitan will try to trick you. To take you away from your responsibility and just focus on zikir. Itu pun tak boleh. Then you're doing it with what? Ego lah. And then the other extreme is, because of your family, you cannot do zikir at all. That is what? Love of the world. There's a verse of the Quran says, do not allow your children and your wealth to come in between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's all in the Quran. It's just now how you're going to understand what effort to put. You're not facing the challenges in life. Example. Okay? And then you say, I want to do dhikr aja. That becomes what? Huh? Ego and nafsu. Kaslan. Laziness. Or this challenge is too big for me, I can't take it, etc. If it comes to a point where it questions your faith, yes, we understand. But if it is a basic challenge, then how? Then you're using, the ego will trick you, shaitan will trick you and say, I no need to do, go away. Because he knows if you overcome that challenge, Allah's redha is for you there. He doesn't want you to get success. You see the trick of shaitan? So what must you work with? You must work with the pulses that direct you to Allah. Not the thoughts, the pulses. The divine pulses are here in your heart. Your main connection line with Allah is through your shaykh, of course, and also here. It's in the heart. Your connection with your shaykh is here. So what are the pulses that move you? So when you say, let's say example, a problem arises. Any problem. A problem can come anywhere. Family, workplace, jemaah, lagi apa? Computer, anything anything. Doing YouTube live also can come out problem, right? So the first pulse is, okay, what can I do to overcome this? That's divine pulse. The laziness is, never mind. Now, like what the Sheikh is saying, are you going to listen to shaitan or are you going to listen to the divine pulse? Oh, because I think this one I cannot change anything already. You think or you know for sure? This is where it goes into management. Management of the life, the character, not the characteristics, the attitude in which we see life. So shaitan already blocked us at attitude. Not even changed our character yet. If you look at the way An-Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he never backs away from a challenge. Not like a 40-day challenge. I challenge you to fight. No, I mean a problem in life. He never runs away from a problem in life. Shah Abdul Qadir Jilani, also the same. Khwaja Mu'inuddin Chisti, also the same. You see? Which awliya run away from problem? You tell me. Ada tak? Tak ada kan? You all know from all of the hagiographies of awliya you have read. Right? How many awliya stories have you read? Belum. Go and read books of awliya Allah Salihin. Their life story, and then you will see. Yeah, they never run away from problem. Imam Bayazid Bustami lagi macam problem. Imam Ghazali. Right? People take his books, throw it into the fire. Ihya. Who come and defend him? An-Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Right? They don't allow him to teach here. The ulama don't like him. He's like macam, getting trolled. Is it what you call online now? Troll is people macam kurang ajar with you in the comments, right? Something like that. Macam kena troll lah. But dia punya real life, people take fire, go and hunt him, all these kind of things. People were against him, all these kind of things, 1,001 things. What did he do? He faced it. He opened his own Zawiyah. Zawiyah Ghazaliyah. Where he taught people and he trained them. And now, would anybody dare to go against him? There are still some people, but majority of the world, English, French, Turkish, whatever, Russian language, etc., they're all learning from him. Did he say, Alamak, I think better not do? No, because that is the trick of shaitan. Shaitan knows. If he goes through this challenge, he would be what? Successful, and he will receive the rida of Allah. Fas'alu ahli dhikr. If you don't know, ask those who know. So Imam al-Ghazali went out, he met his Sheikh Ali Farmadi, he took the bay'ah, he did the dhikr, he did whatever. So the dhikr and the connection is very, very important because it is a source of what? Guidance as well and strength for us to face our challenges, not to run away from them. And this challenge comes from whom? Shaitan. From nafsu, from dunya, from ego. So, you see? Okay. That's why they say Sayyidina Ya'qub alayhi salam lost his son, Sayyidina Yusuf, for many years. Why? Because Allah wants to tell him, this is from Sheikh Hisham, he used to love his son so much as if his son was his life, and he was crying and crying about losing his son until he became blind. Allah left him blind to teach him a lesson. Allah can teach his prophets and test them and see how much they will be patient. That means how much sabr they endure. Okay? He was believing his son is still alive, but he cannot. He is a prophet, and prophets some narrations say that he cried for almost 37 years to be able to see his son. Finally, when he became blind, he realized that his heart cannot attain to. Ma'na, his heart can only have Allah. So as much as we're supposed to raise our children, like the story of Sayyidina Yusuf and Yaqub, they also cannot be our hijab. But if you don't take the responsibility, that is a hijab in itself. You get what I'm trying to say? So there must be a very fine line. Very fine line. Such that they become your asbab to attain the rida of Allah. Then, when he realized that he cannot have this for Sayyidina Yusuf only, it is only for Allah the heart, he heard an angelic voice from the heavens through Sayyidina Jibril and says, Ya Ya'qub, your heart does not belong to you, it belongs to Allah, and whatever belongs to Allah cannot have anyone else inside. This is a sign to tell us that you cannot have two in your heart. Your heart cannot have a shaitan there. So for Sayyidina Yaqub, it's not shaitan, it's what? It's son. But for us, it's our dunya. Not just our children and our wealth. Everything, the comforts of life. These are things, they, how do I say this? It makes it difficult for us sometimes to attain closeness to Allah. It's good to have comforts if you're not blinded by it. Sometimes we become too comfortable in our comfort zone. Too comfortable with our mattresses, too comfortable with the food we eat, etc. That's why NS is good in some way or another. Yeah, it's good one. It brings you out, then you see whether you really trust. It's easy to trust Allah when you're in your comfort zone. The ego likes it. You see, I pray, I'm okay. I pray, I'm okay. Now you go and pray like in jungle, see cannot. Right? Or for those who do police, no, you go and pray lah when you are in, red light district. Go and find prayer. Do that. That's the reality of life, right? Then you see whether your iman is rising or not. Oh, last time people don't need NS. Last time people, their life was already teruk. Wake up in the morning, they have to walk so far just to get water. That was NS for them. We are all very pampered. Ahli Zikr cannot be pampered, to tell you the truth. That's why Allah makes the life of Ahli Zikr sometimes difficult. Challenges, this, that. See, you still remember me, You want to get a rank in your corporate life. Easy or not? Nak jadi regional director. Oh, can? Not yet. What must you do to become regional director? Regional sacrifice lah. Right? Correct, am I right? You must be regionally also knowing your work. So you must sacrifice yourself for the region. So like the kutub of the region for your company. Look at it that way. You look at spirituality that way, but you don't look at your dunya that way. Can you imagine now if you are, many shuyukh are successful. Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jalani was successful. If not, how can he feed thousands of murids every day? Shaykh Ahmad Habbal, successful. They were great businessmen. My grandfather taught people to do business. They did not back away from dunya. They braved themselves in dunya. They faced dunya. They built communities through that strength that they had. But in this day and age, are we willing to do that? You see? That acumen kita buang. We throw it away. Why? Shaitan knows if you are successful there, you also have Allah there. So he cuts you off there, and then he disturbs you in your ibadah. Then where are you now? So if you're strong in your ibadah, your dunya also must be strong because you want to preserve your life of worship. You get what I'm trying to say? Imam al-Hassan al-Shadhili, he says, I will not take a murid that does not work. The murid must work. Whatever work you do lah, tak kisah. You buat roti ke, last time bakers were very much in demand. They bake bread. Like the story of Imam Ahmad Hanbal and the baker, very famous story. Right? There was once Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal, he went to a place, and then usually he doesn't announce that he's Imam Ahmad, of course. These are great zahids. He wrote the book Kitab al-Zuhud, So if you go around telling people I'm Ahmad bin Hanbal, then it doesn't make sense. So he went to the masjid and he wanted to stay there, and the caretaker of the masjid chased him out. Who are you? We cannot stay here. Rudely chased him out. And then he and his student walked away. And then they passed by a baker. And then this baker looked at him and says, how can I help you? Oh, I need a place to stay. Itu gini. Okay, sure. So he provided him with a place to stay and bread, etc., to stay, food. And the baker asked, who are you? And then he says, oh, I'm actually a teacher or teaches the deen. What's your name? Ahmad. Ahmad from where? Then he had to describe himself. I'm Ahmad bin Hanbal. Oh, you are the great Ahmad bin Hanbal? Yes. I made a dua to Allah. I said, oh Allah, allow Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal to stay at my house. If he were to come, allow him to stay at my house and allow me to feed him. And this baker has an amal that he always makes zikr while he's making bread. Always his lips are wet with zikrullah while doing his work. Ada dia cakap, oh, I need to sit at the masjid and do the work. No, he has his time for that. There are shuyukh who work. There are shuyukh who don't. This is up to Allah, what rizki He gave to us. Our duty is to go for it. You get what I'm trying to say? So not all mashayikh are just doing the work of teaching only. There are some who work and then they teach. And this is common in the Middle East, in India, anywhere. They have a day profession, then they teach. They teach. And then there are some who Allah open for them, okay, this is your full work. Terpulang Allah nak kasih. You and me, we don't decide, no? If we decide, then it's our ego. May Allah protect us from our ego. So this is the same, how shaitan, he tricks us. It's a very dangerous thing if you were to look at it. How he tricks us, he blinds us, and then he makes us such that we think we're getting closer to Allah by going through the problems, but actually the problems are yourself. Right? The problems are our own doing because of the ego, of the nafsu, of the love of the world, of shaitan. Then the body gets affected, like what I was saying. The three things that are important in Zikrullah: the physical body, the breath, and the subtle self, the heart. So the ego faces the qadr of Allah, they degil. They fight the qadr of Allah. There's two things. I'm not saying be passive. No. There's no such thing as passiveness in Islam. Because Allah will not change a group of people unless and until they change themselves. So our duty is not to be tricked by shaitan, ego, nafsu, dunya. So even if it means menial work, it's still work. You get, one of the signs of the ego is that it runs away from menial work. It only wants the glamorous work. Cut the ribbon. For the grand opening, dia nak kena potong ribbon. He must cut the ribbon. But the one to go and buy the ribbon at Chinatown or something like that and go to, I'm the one who cut the ribbon, how can I go and buy the ribbon? You get what I'm trying to say? So this is how we train ourselves. You get what I'm trying to say? Go work. I used to work many places. IKEA, Starbucks, Borders, you name it. All the brands would be banned today by Muslims. Kena boycott. Worked at a prata store, hawker. Why not? You get what I'm trying to say, no? Malu ke? Cik rezeki apa? The malu ones are those who don't go out and they are caught by their ego. And today what happened? All of the skills that we've learned in life are important. You get sold Christmas cards when I was young. That was my first job. Okay, you buat muka tebal, you approach people. Makcik pun boleh beli, jual. Cik nak beli Christmas card. I remember still outside of Somerset MRT. Last time, before there was this 313, 143, I think they were gangster, 369, gangster. For all of this, it was open. So we went there, so I said, and then my friend was like, you asking a Muslim person? Ask lah. I know the makcik look at me, makcik look kesian. Dia kat sini lah. But you learn life skills. I got so fed up last time when I was working with my father doing prata. This one guy, he said, Bukit Timah, So all these people come. So they were saying, I want my cheese prata. I cakap, you wait, there's a long queue. I want cheese prata. Yeah. I fed up. I took my money. I went to another shop, buy the cheese prata. Here's your cheese prata. No, I want it from the shop. No, it's free. You please take it, go and eat. I faced the challenge, but wrongly lah. But you still have to face it. Then you learn it through bit by bit, through Zikrullah. Oh, that's very coarse. You need to become more refined. Zikrullah. Because that time I was holding on to the ego. So it's Zikrullah. You get what I'm trying to say? So life you have to go through. Tak ada orang cakap you zikir terus, no need life. Who said that? I never say that. Correct? So go out and work. Shaitan doesn't want you to work. Correct? And then another time, shaitan asks you to work too much. And that was also shaitan. So you need to know how to balance. You get what I'm trying to say? Especially for the men. This is something very important. For the woman, they have a different role. Of course, today, in today's feminist world, we can't talk about this. Offline class, inshallah. But to tell you the truth, the women they can also contribute if they want to, according to fiqh. And they should. I think in this day and age, in many ways, they can do that. But not at the expense of the guarding the house as well, because spiritually also very important. But there are other ways. If not, we become nothing. We want to become what? Understand? So working is important. But you must understand this compass. Don't allow the shaitan to what? To trick you. He used his other three friends, and then he takes over your heart. So suddenly maybe, you all become like, for the ladies, home, you all sell something like, I don't know what, like some jamu or something, I don't know. And then suddenly you become so famous, like influencer famous, and then you suddenly dapat title Dato, or this kind of thing. Very famous in Malaysia, I don't know, maybe Amira Perak or something like that. You become a Datuk there, something like that, Dia pun orang Perak, sama. Unigisme, sorry. Tijai gaduh. And then after that, you lose the real asbab of seeking, doing the work, which is to overcome the ego. Now it has a home in your heart, which is what? Hubbun dunya, love of the world. Now that becomes the corruption in the heart. That's why it's very important to do your work with wisdom and compassion. That's what we've been talking about skillful means, remember? So while you do your dhikr, you're also making your work a form of dhikrullah. I know it's very hard to do that in Singapore, but it is still possible at some level of work. If not 100% of your work, at least 30%, 40% of your work becomes a form of dhikrullah. Still ibadah. One of the main intentions I always tell people when you go to work is that the money is for the deen, not just for Allah, for the deen. Why? It goes back into the people of the deen who needs help. So you're working for the deen. Then you see there'll be barakah in it. So then your mind and your heart are actively trying, this is ma'rifatullah, seeking Allah in your daily life, knowing Allah in your daily life. Then it becomes very difficult for shaitan to what? Sit in your heart. Because he thought now he can get you in dunya. Sekali in dunya, you go and ping him, you go and change. No, I've taken my dunya as a way to be close to Allah, number one, and to support the deen. Then he says, okay, this one door out, I have to find another door. It will continue. So you need to be cleverer than him. Understand? The akhir kalam, we've exceeded our time. Inshallah, we hope that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forgive us and guide us and accept our struggles of this dunya, inshallah, and not be tricked by the the trickery of shaitan, nafsu and the ego, and may our hearts be solely for him and Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and that our Ramadan and all of the ibadah be accepted, and Allah grants us ease to be doing ibadah tonight, inshallah. Ameen, ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Inshallah, if you'd like to support us, you can do so via 866-82295, and you can do so. That's like a gift for the Khanqa, inshallah. And I like to say, announce that we have the second volume of our newsletter out, and I'd like to thank each and every one of you who had contributed to the newsletter. Thank you very much. I think it's, alhamdulillah, this month is 18 pages. Very good. So you have the last 10 days, one day, about 2 pages. You can study it, and then they have the full month to think about it. A lot was shared in this month because a lot happened. A lot of things happened, and I was just saying, if not for the newsletter, I wouldn't know what I've done. Not that I want to be proud of it, but to keep track. Okay, so next month I need to do this. Although we have it planned and all, it's not the same when you see it as presented that way. And it brings the Jama'ah together as well. So I highly encourage all Murideens to make this as part of your wirid, to read the newsletter. Right? If not, why would they prepare it? And to take benefit from it and see how you can help the Khanqa and can help the newsletter team as well, insyaAllah. And not just give comment. How come this section sports tak ada? Where's the section on what? Business. It's a newsletter, not a newspaper. Specific for the Khanqa. So don't give wrong inputs juga. Give the right ones, insyaAllah, so that everybody can benefit. Read first, don't talk first. So newsletter team, if people ask and you want to give feedback, say, wait. Have you read it? Cover to cover, word for word, understood it? No, and then go back and do that, then you come and talk to me. A lot of people nowadays talk only, no action one. Everybody likes to talk, but they don't understand what they're talking about. And so, yeah, that's also another trick of shaitan. One of the signs of gangguan is people who cannot stop talking. Talk. It's a sign of gangguan. It's a disturbance. May Allah protect us, insyaAllah. Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.